Day, the world is trash. Paging people of Earth. The world is literal garbage. Just so everybody knows, everything is trash. Tip of the cap. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Everything is real dumb right now. No surprises there. Just saying. Welcome. I'm going to tickle your bag. You know how it goes. Good day, everyone. Good day. Good day. Thank you for coming in. I will remove this now. The air is safe to breathe. Oh, yo! Excuse me, tickle my bag. Good day, everyone. Tip of the cap. The world's on fire. I wanted to talk about a couple of things, specifically yell as it is. Not certainly not going to be talking about anything. Just wanted to do a little bit of yelling. Typical stuff as the world is on fire. What I wanted to talk about first, as the literal earth and all of our remaining freedoms smolder to the actual literal ground, is I hope that everybody understands that what's going on in Canada is going to come here next. So tickle my bag. Peace out to freedom. The world is trash. Thanks for everything. Peace to everything. Thanks, Grandpa. Thanks, great Grandpa, for really putting your life on the line in those there wars that you fought. Thanks for all the Normandy. Really appreciate that. What's going on right there? What is that? Thanks for the Normandy. Appreciate that, with the life on the line and the literal life on the actual literal line. That was cool. Thanks for the freedom. We held on to it for a couple of years before we just decided to clap ourselves. We were just like, what is this? Freedom? I'm a they, them. I'm a hippopotamus. I'm a tortoise. Yeah. Anybody that's stupid enough to think that they're not just trying to destroy every possible imaginable thing ever in the history of time and just destroy all of the institutions. They're just like, what do you think you are? You think you think you as a parent has control over what your kid learns? Disgusting. They want like every kid to live in like a commune. They want these people are psycho. They want the kids like living in the town square. It's like, I don't even know who it was. Some jabroni. They were like, the kids aren't property of the parents anymore. It's the community's kids. It's like, pardon me, Bill. It's like when the kid poops in its pants. What are the community wipes it up? Like what community is this? Like Joe could use a community like that. I'm just saying. Right now it's Dr. Jilly. She's like, Joe, no, not again. And he's like, nah. He's like, Putin. It's Putin. She's like, no, you pooped in your drawers, Joe. But whatever. He's like, pooping. That's maybe that's how they tricked him. It's Putin. It's like, you pooped in your shorts. But whatever. That one was off the dome. Zip, zap. Okay. Great. Start with a poop joke. Cool. It's like it's like I want to be serious and I want to talk about world issues. People are like, what do you want to do with your life? I'm like, be a thought leader. They're like, start the live stream with a joke about him pooping in his pants. Like, okay. Somebody just posted a ridiculously long comment on Facebook. Can't see that. Just a bunch of something about Joe Rogan. Hopefully not a, did you see this? It's like, yes, I literally did, but whatever. Yo, okay. I got an interesting look. Before we get started, excuse me. Before we get started, I just want I don't know if anybody's seen this lately, but give it a gagal. Let's start on a light note. Relax your dirt star. I'm gonna park my truck in there. Honk. Oh, that's an acronym. Honk honk. What about Happy Holidays? Somebody made that comment today. I thought that was funny. They're like, what do they think Happy Holidays means? It's like, okay, everybody relax. Anyways, yeah, before I go any further, if anybody just if anybody just wants to just hate their life, if anybody just wants to ruin like a couple of minutes of their time, just ruin a couple of minutes of their actual literal human time, go on Madonna's Instagram. And I know some chooch is going to comment and they're going to be like, I can't believe you talked about it. They're like, talk about what I want you to talk about. It's like, no, I'm just going to talk about whatever I want. If you have a moment, if you have a literal second and you're like, next time you're trying to get out of 13 minutes of work while you pretend and or literally drop a hot brown at work, pull up Madonna's Instagram. Because apparently Madonna, don't leave the chat to go look at Madonna's Instagram. I'm saying go there later or hit the duck. Hit the duck. I'm just saying, have a look. Because Madonna, who in real life resembles someone who's 3,000 years old. No offense to Madonna. I'm not an ageist. I'm just saying it's funny. Anyways, back to the lab. Madonna apparently just discovered filters. So I'll let you draw your own conclusions, Larry, but it's quite a sight to be seen. Madonna, literal Madonna, who was born in 1901. No, I'm just kidding. She's not even really that old, but I'm just saying for the sake of the literal joke, for the sake of the joke, Madonna apparently just discovered filters. Her like great grandson was probably like, yo, did you know filters are a thing? And she was like, say what? She's like, I must cling to relevance. She's like, I'm still sassy and sexy. And it's like, you're a literal grandma, but whatever. I'm just saying, it's like, I get it. Like, slay, sis. I get it. She's like, I too once thought about blowing up the White House. It's like, what did you just say, Madonna? It's just like, excuse me. We have Whoa Vicky now. Like Madonna is no longer shocking. She has like cone tits or whatever, and people are like, what is it now? And now like the most insane things in the imaginable are happening. Now we have Cash Me Outside girl has an OnlyFans. It's like the cone tits are not doing it anymore. I'm just saying. But anyways, go to Madonna 63. Madonna 63. Go to her Instagram and look at her filters. She literally looks like she's 17 years old. She has these filters cranked up to the literal maximum. She literally looks like she's 15 years old. And there's articles online. There's like articles about it. Like imagine if you cranked up the filter so hard that somebody was like, yeah, I'm about to write an article about this. It's just like literally there's an article in the Sun that says, Madonna, that you? It says Madonna 63 shocks fans with new pic as they claim she looks 16 years old, because she freaking does. She literally looks 16. I swear to Christmas, over a bed of leafy greens. I swear over a bed of the leafiest of greens. I thought it was like her daughter. I thought like some teenage TikTok Gen Z upside down freaking girl that lives in Connecticut or whatever that does TikTok dances. I thought it was one of those that like got surgery or something, or she had like a Madonna filter and everyone was like, "Oh, sick, just like your parents used to watch or whatever." But no, it's literally her. She's like, I don't even know. The pictures are incredibly weird. Literally some of the weirdest photos I've ever seen. In one, she's holding like what appears to be like a dial-up phone with like a curly cord. It's like, what are you doing, Madonna? I don't know. But anyways, the photos are extremely heavily filtered. She looks extremely weird. Her like iPhone is charging in her pocket. I don't know, dude. It's fucking weird. Just whatever. Go watch it. If you're just like, meh, if you're feeling bad about yourself today, go look at the freaking pictures. Cause it's like, imagine if I posted a photo of me just like looking sultry and I look like an infant child, you know? It's like that type of an age gap that's being created as a result of these filters. It's like, imagine if I was just like, me and my new whip, and it's like me in front of like a Photoshop Ferrari, and I'm like an infant. I'm like wearing a skull cap, like a baby skull cap. That's what it looks like. In one of them, she has no top on, and she has like a little under boob, and it's just like, what? It's like, what are you doing? Like, go play bingo. I'm just saying, no, whatever. That's offensive. I'm not trying to. These are jokes. Tickle my bag. Anyways, back to the conversation. People are like, I came here for Canada content, you dick. Anyways, Madonna, you're 63. Stop. Okay. Anyways, back to whatever. I don't know how you transition from that to whatever world, like globalization, the world being trash, but whatever. Just lighten it up. It's like, Madonna, stop. But whatever. Okay, a little bit more serious. Sorry. Yo, Canada, like, I'm just gonna send out, like, I wish I had one of those horns. I gotta get one. That's a good idea. I gotta get one of those horns where it's like, I gotta get one of those so I can be like, no, are you guys good? Because they're literally not. They're literally not good in Canada, and everything is trash. And I just hope that everybody understands, as we're just like, stop, Madonna, no. They're literally coming to destroy everything you ever loved. Somebody asked me earlier in the Patreon group, they were just like, what do you do to settle down when the world is on fire? And I'm like, I'm just like, go to the gym is basically it, but try to like keep a positive attitude. But I'll tell you this, Jim, it's pretty dark out there. Look, I hope that everybody can understand that Canada has essentially proven to the Western world that a tyrannical government is fine. And I'm not blaming the Canadian people. This is not about a blame game. It's more about an awareness game. So I just want to bend you over and like open up your brown eye, because like I need to park like an autobus of El Truth in there, because everything is on fire and it's about to get real bad. Look, Joey Choco Chip Nazca Lines and his Depends is just like not currently residing on the crust of this literal earth in which we inhabit, in which Joe is eating a Choco Chip ice cream out of a Lightera waffle cone and browning his Depends. And people are like, and somehow the other day on Twitter, it was trending. It was like, thank God Joe's the president. I was like, what? What do you mean? I was like, but why though? You know what I mean? It's like, I heard somebody a while back, a couple months ago, they were just like, they're like, would you trust Joe Biden to run your business? And they're like, if the answer is no, then how could you possibly think this guy can run the entire world? It's like, I wouldn't trust Joe Biden to run my donut shop, you know? So Joe posted a video earlier of him being like, he's like, sweet Odin's Raven. He's like, who in the Christmas Krispy Kreme donut does Vladimir Putin, my pooped in my pants, think he is, just taking over a such and such? It's like, he thinks he could do squats with your lifeless body on his back, is what he thinks. And as Joe stumble-be-tuned through this like 4 sentences, he was just like, he's like, Jilly, like, I think it happened again. Jilly was like, no. And the White House staff was like, son of a man. He like stumbled through these 4 sentences, and I commented and I was like, LOL. I was like, LOL, who actually thinks this guy can handle foreign policy right now? And a bunch of jabrones like entered the chat. They're like, they're just like, fuck you. They're just like, and then one guy was like, he's like, that's pretty messed up for you to make fun of his speech impediment. Yeah, it says a lot about you, speech impediment. And I'm like, bro, there are literally thousands of hours of Joseph Garbanet, Nazca Lines on the Haynes, literal thousands of hours of this allegedly human person speaking long, interrupted sentences and paragraphios, if you speak Espanol, if you speak Mexican, lots of paragraphios of him just being like, not having a speech impediment for like, I don't know, 40 years. So I'm just saying, if you're gonna just come out, if you're just gonna like somersault out of the attic, while the house is on fire, and be like, you're gonna make fun of his speech impediment. What speech impediment, you psycho? This dude's been on TV for 30 years. This dude never had any speech impediment. You're full of shit. He's just old and has dementia. And they're like, Joe Biden lost a tooth, and that's why he's stumbling over his words and can't remember the name of people that are in his cabinet. They're like, he must have lost a tooth. It's like, what? These things are not even related. It's like, what the hell are they? He's like, he's just like, oh, as soon as I said it, he's like, ah, he's just like, CNN. He's like, I saw on CNN. He immediately just like kicked into his lizard brain of just like regurgitating the talking points that have been spoon fed into his brown eye. He turns on CNN and just like opens up his balloon knot and he's like, dump it in, pooper, dump it in, Anderson pooper. And he's just like, ah. It's like, Anderson, like, what was on your wall when you were a child? Like, what was that on the wall? Like, what type of art did your mom purchase? Whatever, that's a topic for another day. What kind of art is that? I'm just saying, it's creepy as fuck. But whatever. Anyways, so he's just like, girl, he's like, you're gonna make fun of his speech impediment. So I just, as I've been known to do, I just bullet trained into Bobby Sauce mode, and I was just like, who hurt you? I hit him with an at his handle, whom hurt you? Just hit him with a who hurt you. And then I disappeared into the bushes like Homer Simpson. I was like, who hurt you? Then I just blocked him, which I thought was hilarious because that's the world we live in now. So fudge off, you know? And then this human person writes me an email. He goes to my website and writes me an email. And do you guys want me to read you the email that this person sent me that I blocked? Who wants me to read the email? Hit me with an eggplant emoji in the comments if you want me to read the email from this allegedly human person. Because it's pretty funny. Oh my God. And yeah, and like another thing, this allegedly human person whose profile photo was like an upside down giraffe, like sitting on top of on top of a cornucopia of like squash and beans and corn or something. It was like something stupid. He's just like, you're ugly. It's like you're an elephant on a cornucopia. Like, who are you? Whom are you? His handle was like I'm hurting inside 52 at gmail.com. He's like one of those guys that's like, I didn't even want to go to the prom. It looked stupid. It's like, yeah, it's real stupid. Yeah, we got drunk in the parking lot before we went. We danced on the dance floor to some stupid 90s hits. Then we went to Larry's house and smoked 1,000 blunts and like drank Busch Lights out of a backpack until we passed out. Yeah, it was stupid. It's like, yeah, it's not about the dance, you chooch. He's like, you look dumb. It's like, that's because no one wants to go with you, bro. But whatever. I don't even ask anyone. It's like, actually, we saw you ask Jennifer on the Jungle Gym, and she told you you smell like rotten beans. But whatever. He's like, look stupid. And then like 10 years later, he's like, fuck you, Bobby. He's like, Joe has a split. It's like, does he though? Does he? But whatever. All right, I saw a couple eggplant emojis. I was gonna read it anyways, but I do appreciate everybody leaving the eggplants. Oh, I got a lot of eggplants on Facebook. All right, I'm gonna read the email. Imagine being a human. Imagine being an allegedly human person and seeing me like hit you with a who hurt you on an Instagram comment and being like, argh, and just because I blocked his account immediately. I hit him with a who hurt you publicly in the comments, and then I immediately blocked him because I don't care anymore because life is short. So this guy had to like go online or something or find an account because I said block his account and all accounts associated with his username, which is like really difficult. So he must have logged onto his VPN, went to the post, scrolled to the comments, found the comment. I mean, there's like 10,000 comments, saw me say who hurt you, couldn't figure out why. And then it was like, argh! Then he like went to my website, found the contact form, and then wrote it. Could you imagine? Can you imagine being that mad about just a who hurt you? So here's this email from this allegedly human person. Prom look dumb. Name. Your comments are trash. He capitalized every letter, so that's cool. I don't even know if it's a he, but just based on the sogginess, I'm gonna wager it's a he. I'm gonna wager it. Maybe it's a them. Who even knows? Maybe it's a Zim Zer. That wouldn't even surprise me. It's like I'm a Zim. It's like, okay. It's like that checks out, but whatever. No surprises here. I'm a Zim. Is that offensive? I don't know. I don't think so, because look, like that's not a thing. I'm Zer. Okay. It's like if you like they expect people to refer to them as Zer. It's like, imagine if your name was Zer. Imagine if you like walked in, you're like, hey, how's it going? I'm Zer. People will be like, that's a weird name. And they're like, no. That's my when you refer to me, be like Zer. What did Zer have for lunch? It's like, get away from me. It's like, get away from my human body. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, name. Your comments are trash. Email no F's to give at fu.com. Except he wrote it out because, dang, I'm not hurting inside. It's sure, we believe you. Phone number 666-666-6666. That seems fine. He's just like, I'm the devil. It's like, no, the devil's inside you. It's like, your dad loves you, but whatever. Like, your dad loves you. I'm just saying, he's proud of you. You know what I mean? Not right now, but like, he could be proud of you if you changed your ways. But whatever. He's like, oh, fuck you, dad. He's like, my dad never liked me. He never appreciated what I did. Anyways. Zer had an eggplant for lunch. Nice. That was a good comment on YouTube. Anyways. And here's the message. Get an effing grip, you old ass man. Good start. Hot start. I'm 34 years old. Just for anybody that's curious, I'm 34. So if you're an old ass man at 34, that means I got, I don't know, at least 10 years on you. So 24, this guy's probably 16. He's like, I hate the prom. Jessica sucks anyways. She's not even hot. It's like she's texting him. He's like, what is it? He said, this allegedly human person who's literally hurting inside, like, where's your dad? Is said, once you, this is what this person wrote. These are real words from a real human face. Or not even a face. I hate the prom. Stupid. School sucks. Can you take me to the hot topic after school? Once you obtain your MA in political science, I will have a grain of respect for the shit you decide to vomit onto the public. First of all, this person has probably never heard of me in his entire life and just reacted to the one comment that I made, which was, who hurt you? He's like, there's shit you said. There wasn't, let me just frame it up. There was not enough time for this person to consume any of my content and then write the email. It's like he got the comment. It was like, who hurt you? And then he immediately got blocked and then immediately went to my comment form to write this email. Once you obtain your MA in political science, oh, is that what I need? MA in political science to say that Joe Biden is not currently sentient? It's like the guy's like old and like mumbling and bumbling over his words. And I've watched 1,000 videos of it. I don't need an MA in political science, you chooch, but whatever. He goes, Roberto Sausalito, anyone can find you by checking your profile. That's the email. That's the whole email. Yeah, I know they can find me by checking my profile. That's why I have the profile, jabroni. But okay. So that's the email. A human person decided to write this. Once you get your MA in comedy, I'll listen to your jokes. It's like once you nothing. Like once you attend the prom, like call me back, Whatever. There's a couple people in here that like didn't attend the prom. They're like, no, whatever. The guy's hurting. Somebody said, what's with the color? Just joined. I don't even know what that means. My camera's red. My camera's yellow. I don't know. So anyways, so that's that guy. So I hope he's watching right now, but he's not because I blocked him. So I just think that's really funny. Anyways. All right. So I wanted to talk about, Canada because to me, the severity of the, I forgot to put my thing in here. The severity of what's going on in Canada is troubling to say the least. And I just hope that everybody understands that this psycho person, Justin Trudeau's this guy is basically like a tyrannical overlord. And like the fact that they're allowing this dweeb to like have control over people's money is incredibly troubling. I hate listening to this dude. I hate listening to Trudeau talk. The way this guy talks is so condescending in its slowness. It's like when Joey Dumpster's like, he's like, pay your fair share. It's like, Joe, no. Like, no one needs to do that. We're already doing that. Literally, no. I don't know about the color on the YouTube, so sorry about that. He just like talks. He talks in such like a condescending way, like his mom got popped by Fidel Castro, and he's just like, He's like, no, he didn't. I don't know if anybody's ever looked at a photo of this dude's dad, but like. I'm just saying, when I was growing up, my grandfather used to say, "There's like he looks like his dad is the mailman, or the milkman." I think that's what my grandfather used to say. It's like, who's the dad? The mailman? It's like, yo, your dad is literally Fidel Castro. But whatever. Somebody said the color's off. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Probably nothing. I guess there's nothing I can do, but whatever. So yeah, that's really the thing. So it's like the thing that's so sad about it all is like, these are nonviolent people that got stomped by a horse who had their money all shut down. And now the leader, the organizer of the whole movement, the woman, I forget what her name was. I have her in my, I wrote an email to myself of her. They're trying to put this woman in jail for like 10 years and they're keeping her in prison for doing what? For organizing a peaceful protest. Basically what they did is made it so that it is illegal to disagree with the strong arm of the government. And this Western country, who is our number one trading partner, our closest ally geographically, where generally speaking, most people would consider us to have similar freedoms, even though their speech laws are terrible. They basically just allowed tyranny. There's her name, Tamara Leach. So it's like they basically allowed tyranny there. So it's like this guy can control the money, can seize your assets, take your truck away, take your vehicle away, stop your bank account from working. They could also seize your ability to obtain credit. They could ruin anything that you could ever need to do. They could ruin your ability to get a loan. They could essentially destroy you. So we're all sitting here and witnessing a real-life tyrannical government takeover by our closest ally. They're literally sitting there, and this dude is basically like, I run everything now. And despite the fact that all other developed nations of the world, for the most part, are doing away with almost all restrictions, you have this psychopath dweeb ruining these people's lives intentionally when every other country is taking all this stuff away. In the UK, I believe as of April 1st, or even right now, even if you test positive for the corona clap, you can still go to work. You can still do whatever you got to do. So it's like, it's over. Yet this actual psycho person they had him trample a person with a horse to get over to a place that you didn't even need to go. It's not like they were on some mission. They're like, yeah, release the horse. They were like, clip, clop, stomp on that lady. And then they were like, yeah, just say that she threw a bicycle at them, which is not even true. And then you have these psycho people, these psycho members of parliament just being like, honk honk is an acronym. Is an acronym for something else. It's like, no, you literal psychotic demon. Like, honk honk is the sound a freaking truck makes, you idiot. Like, you absolute psycho. What I'm wondering is whom, literally whom is so hurting inside. Like whom, like somebody was going to the prom. They had the crochet. They were on the way and they went to their house and they like weren't even there. Or it's like, I don't know what happened to this lady, but like Dylan showed up at her house with the crochet and was like, actually, I'm taking Jennifer. So peace. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happened to this lady, but like, take it easy, bro. It's like literally who hurt you. It's like, I just wonder, do these demons actually believe the stuff that they're actually saying? Does she literally mean that people are saying honk honk because that's what they actually mean? Does this psycho person actually believe this? The thing is that they don't. They don't actually believe it. They're just such psycho demon losers that they're just like, yeah, this is what we're going to say now. We're going to say that honk honk is an acronym for something else. It's like, what do you mean? Then apparently last time I was texting at a red light, the person behind me just honked an anti-Semitic slur at me. It's like, what are you talking about? It's a horror, you psycho. But the saddest part about all this is that there are human persons that are sitting at home watching this on TV and they're like, It's like, what? I just find it so puzzling how people will watch this guy and watch these human people and watch them be like, they don't have the right to disrupt their life. They don't have the right to disrupt their business. They don't have the right to obstruct them from living their life. It's like, yeah, we all agree with that, demon. It's like, we all agree with you on that, you absolute psycho, because that's what you've been doing for the last 2 years. And he's like blaming these truckers on that. It's like, okay, dude. These people are psycho. And then you have people that are not even funny, like Jordan Klepper. Jordan Klepper. Like somebody left Jordan Klepper waiting for the prom date. He has prom is stupid vibes as well. This guy is supposed to be a comedian. What? Like who's sitting at home when Jordan Klepper comes on TV and they're like, I love Klepper. Klepper. He is just so. It's like zero people. Does anyone else look? I've said it 1,000 times and I'll say it again. Trevor Noah is not funny. Trevor Noah is the most unfunny person I've ever listened to. And I can disagree with you and still think you're funny. Trevor Noah is not funny. Jim Gaffigan, who I severely disagree with because he's super ultra New York non-based woke lib. I love Jim Gaffigan. Absolutely hilarious. Love it. Hilarious. Disagree with him on policies. But Trevor Noah is not funny. Trevor Noah is objectively not funny. And Jordan Klepper, also not funny. Samantha Bee, literally not even remotely, partially, 10% funny. So unfunny. And what blows my mind is that Trevor Noah sells tickets to live event. Who's just out here being like, yo, let's go to the Trevor Noah stand-up. What? This guy has terrible jokes. He doesn't even have a live audience anymore for The Daily Show, a show that's been around for a decade plus, like has a built-in fan base on a primetime spot on Comedy Central. Yet they can't even get enough people to care or think it's funny to have even a studio audience. Troubling. So, anyways, what they basically did in Canada is they essentially made it illegal to disagree with the government in any meaningful way. If they say, if you organize a peaceful protest, you could get arrested and denied bail. You could serve a prison sentence, 10 plus years, whatever. If they're going to say that they can freeze your bank accounts, that means that they own your money. That means that your money is not yours. That means they have complete financial control over you, probably indefinitely. If they can seize your crypto assets or your digital assets, they own you. Your money is not even yours anymore. You're a complete prisoner inside your own country. If they say you can't fly, you can't go on a train, you can't go on a bus, and you can't go on a boat unless you take a forced procedure, you're a prisoner in your own country. And that is how it is right now in Canada for Canadians. You can't protest. You can't disagree publicly. They're saying that people that even got involved with the protest that weren't even there, people that donated $50, $40, $20 before it was even deemed illegal, which the whole concept, even the words illegal protest are by themselves absolutely psychotic, and people should be very afraid of that. They're basically saying it's illegal for you to disagree with the government. And it's like, who's going to protest again? If they can stomp you with a horse, lie about why you're there, group you in with one guy with one flag that they probably planted there, say that you're X, Y, and Z, say that you're xenophobe, say that you're everything, completely smear you in the public eye, dox you, and then organizations like Twitter, for example, who famously said we don't allow hacked content on our platform. When it was Hunter blow your paint through a straw, take a picture of myself naked in 15 countries and forget it on a laptop because I'm smoking Parmesan out of the carpet. When this guy didn't even have his material hacked, when he literally just left it there because he's a clueless jabron, when that was the case, they deleted it all off Twitter. But when this literally hacked material that was literally hacked, that everybody knew was hacked, you had all these publications, including Twitter, allowing for all these hacked names to get distributed on their platform. Their policies are complete garbage, and we're living in a hellscape. And everybody is totally fine with this. Not everybody. Obviously, you guys aren't because you're based. But, like, people are totally fine with this. And what's so sick about it all and absolutely tragic is that some people are so clueless that they're actually okay with their ideological opponents having their bank accounts seized. It's like, bro, don't you understand that it's now wrong think is illegal in Canada, that there are aggressive speech laws in Canada? Canada's no longer a free country. And what's so troubling about all this is that this is all preventable stuff. It's like Justin Trudeaumpster, Justin Castro Trudeaumpster the Fifth, this literal dweeb, like do a curl or two, you know what I mean? Like hit the bench. I'm just saying, like do a curl, whatever. Like this guy got reelected like 6 months ago, not even 6 months, 4 months ago. It's like this guy was elected, and now I'm not gonna crank one into your balloon knot about that, because like apparently we also elected the ghost of Joey Depends. So it's like I get it, but I'm just saying, it's like this guy is a psycho. This guy is like a psycho dumpster. And what's so crazy is in Parliament, or whatever they even call it, freaking Dumbledore. They had some vote or whatever yesterday or whatever about extending this dude's emergency powers. And they're like, yeah, 180 people said, yeah. Who the hell are they? So I just hope everybody understands that this is the type of shit that happens when people don't pay attention to what's actually going on. And it's like, I've had a bunch of people ask me, they'll be like, well, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? I made a post last night about how the war, the battle, whatever, the war is won by thought. And I believe wholeheartedly that the only solution out of this is by spreading the truth with people. The only solution to this madness, the only solution to this mayhem is for people to be aware and distributing the truth. So it's like, I understand that we got 3 more years of Joey Brown smears and the Joey Brown smears in his hands and his loose hands. I understand that we got however many years of Castro, but the biggest problem that Canada has, which is another problem that the United States has, which is another problem that just the general world at large has, is that most people aren't paying attention. Most people are totally cool with this. That's the problem. It's like people are fine with this. And I bet, as sad as it is, if you were to do a poll of all the people in Canada that were okay with what they just did in Ottawa, I would wager that more people would be fine with it than not fine with it. And that's why it's happening. And if you were to poll people in the United States of America, if you were to poll every single American citizen, I bet you most of them would be all right with what's going on right now. Because for the following reasons. 1, They don't pay attention at all. They completely tune out. And if you completely tune out, the only way that you get this intel is from your social circles when they talk about it casually. And what do they talk about? They oftentimes regurgitate, because if you're hanging out with a bunch of people that are not paying attention, chances are, or if you're not paying attention, chances are you're hanging out with a lot of people that are also not paying attention, right? Because if they were paying attention, you would by default, through like osmosis, be wanting to pay more attention because you would realize the severity of the moment. So if you don't pay attention at all, everybody else would pay attention. If you don't pay attention at all, the people around you probably barely pay attention. So when they share with you how they feel about whatever is going on, they're giving you some regurgitated talking point that's either a secondhand telephone pass from the other person that they know that might pay attention, or it's something that they heard on TV or saw in the newspaper, or while they were waiting in line at the grocery store with their diaper on their face, with a face shield and a spit guard in front of a person that has a 1 foot by 1 foot plexiglass thing, and they're like, and they're just like, well, what are you? And they're just like, they're like trying to avoid like spitting particles through this screen while they pull their diaper down, and one's over the chin, and they're touching everything, and they're like touching currency and putting it in their eye. They like look at the front of the magazine, and it's like Joe's doing a great job on the cover of Bag of Dicks mag. And they're like, Donnie, orange man bad. Donnie is orange and bad, and very orange and very bad and orange. And they're just like, sick. Good thing the parents are in the room. It's like, what's wrong with you? So the vast majority of people don't pay attention at all. They don't even look into it. Somebody in their social circles like, isn't Donnie a big orange, big bad, very mean tweet? And they're like, heck yeah, he is. And they're like, let's watch Miss the Masked Singer. Who is it? It's Andrew Yang. And it's just like, my life's miserable. They're like, govern me harder, daddy. Tell me what to do. They're like, what did you take my money? Whatever. What is that cucumber? $8 now? Whatever. Stuff it in my balloon knot. I hate everything. Okay. So that's most people. Then there's the people that kind of pay attention. They watch the 5 o'clock news. They watch the news for 10 minutes a night or 20 minutes a night while they're scratching their bag and cooking up a freaking, they're making a paella in the kitchen. And like their kid comes home and they're like, how was school? And they're like, dumb. And they're just like, perfect. So they pay attention for 15 minutes or whatever. And then they go to school, and then they go to work or whatever. And they're like sitting around the refrigerator in the lunchroom. And some jabron is just like, did you see? And they just like regurgitate what they saw on Clown News Network today. And they're just like, that is crazy. They're like, I hate Trump. He's such an XYZ. And they're like, it's like, Donnie's on the 9th hole. Like Donnie is putting for par right now. Like, let him out of your brain. They're like, Donnie. It's like Joe is not currently residing on the planet of Earth while we try to crank Putin's bag. And people are like, what do you? They're like, did you hear that Donnie? It's like, what is wrong with you? But whatever. So then the other remaining amount of people, they think that they're based. They think that they pay attention. They think that they're woke because they watch CNN and ABC and CNBC, and they listen to NPR on the way to work, and they're very bad and upside down and orange, and they have pink hair, and they're like, Megan Rapinoe is my hero. And it's just like, what is wrong with you? And like the vast majority of people fall into those 3 categories. And that's why all of this stuff is happening, because most people just don't care. I think the most important statistic that I try to remind people of is that 50% of people don't vote at all. Like most people, the vast majority of adult people just don't vote at all. And the ones, and maybe it's not the majority, whatever, but a large quantity of people don't vote. And I would wager that 40 to 50, maybe even 60% of the people that do vote don't know who they're going to vote more than 1 month before the election. And I would bet that 50% of the people that vote don't know who they're going to vote for 1 week before the election. And I would bet that 25% of people that go to the polls don't know who they're going to vote for 1 day before the election. And that's why the world is trash. People keep telling me the color is off on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I look red or I'm yellow or I'm orange. I don't know. Whatever. I'm doing the best I can. Somebody on Facebook said I didn't vote until I was 40 years old. I was on the news because of it. Yeah. So, okay. So here's the message. Here's the point. It's like everybody thinks that it's so bad. And they're like, how do we fix it? How do we fix it? It's, you know, it's the boys club and it's a big filthy club and you're not in it. Yeah, I agree with you. However, even if every single election was above board and it was totally fine and all of it was accurate and there was no problems at all, I think that most people just don't pay attention anyways. So it's like even if it was all above board and right and true and honest, which maybe it is, maybe it's not, you know, you draw your own conclusions. You can't say that anymore. Then it's like, would we even be able to change it? Because most people don't realize that the mainstream media is in the bag. They don't even realize the manipulation. When I was watching the live streams of Canada, you're watching like a world-changing moment. I'm watching shots by Hill. I'm watching all these different people. I'm following along with the convoy. The videos are getting hundreds of thousands of views. There's 500,000 people that are following the convoy on Instagram. You know, when you watched on YouTube, there's 10,000 people watching simultaneously, which is sometimes more than watch even the president of the United States' speech. So there's 10,000 people watching. There's hundreds of thousands of people paying attention. But when you really think about it, how many people is 500,000 people? Just in the United States alone, there's 300 million people. I'll tell you this much. If you're on Instagram, which billions, literal billions of people are on Instagram, 20% of the entire planet, 10% of the entire planet, something like that, is on the internet. And there's all these other people that don't even have access to high-speed internet. So it's like probably the vast majority of American citizens of voting age or that would engage are like on Instagram or on YouTube on one of these two platforms. And it's like, how many people is 500,000 people? It's not that many people. When you consider it versus 330 million just in the United States alone, that's just the United States. You also have the country of Canada, which is another 25 million people. So it's like 500,000 people out of 25 million plus 330 million is not a lot of people. So as big as it was and as exciting as it was and how as based as it was, you're talking a subset of a subset of a subset of people. And the vast majority of people don't care enough to watch. All they want is the digest. They want the cliff notes of what happened. What happened? Oh, they got clomped by a Clydesdale. It's like the biggest problem that the world faces right now is lack of distribution of the truth. Lack of distribution of the truth in real time. I don't know what's going on. People are like telling me that my stream looks all colorful on YouTube and Facebook. I don't know what to tell them. But anyways, so yeah. Lack of distribution of the truth, lack of truthful and honest analysis of the truth occurring in real time is what the world is lacking. So it's like, one of the most heroic things that an average person can do right now is just purely and simply distribute the truth. It's like, it's think about it like this. I try to explain it. This I hope this explanation makes sense. If you were morbidly obese, if you were 600 pounds, which some people are, a 600-pound person can say, I can't run, I can't jump, I can't lift weights, I can barely stand. Yeah, understood. Well, what's the solution? Wait till you die? Drink Coca-Cola? What's the solution? The solution is you make one little effort until you can make more effort. What does a morbidly obese person do to lose weight? Clap. I used to watch Maury back in the day because I'm a human person and I have feelings too. Maury, the show on You Are Not the Father. If you watched Maury, he used to have all these very large overweight people on and they'd be like, I lost 900 pounds. And they always say, it's like, I started by clapping. Clap. clap. They clap until they can lift their hands over that. Then they can lift their weight, do a curl, 5-pound curl, 5-pound curl. And they can start losing weight. And a 600-pound person can lose the weight. And then you can say, well, what about their skin? There's surgery that exists now to get rid of their excess skin. And a 600-pound person can become a really healthy, inspirational person with diligence and discipline over time. So it's like, what's the solution? Right now, the world is 600 pounds overweight. And some people are like, it's over. I'm going to have a heart attack. And it's like, cool, good for you. I'm going to start clapping. So it's like, what can we do to contribute to this madness? Spread the truth. Talk to more people. That's it. That is the most simplified explanation of what people can do. Is like, start talking about what's going on with every person that you can. And what blows my mind, and I understand that everybody's situations are different, but it's like people are sending their kids to school with diapers on their face. People are letting their children comply with all of this madness. People are just letting it happen. And they are so defeated by the fact that everything sucks that they forget all of the great historical stories in history where people have overcome outrageous adversity to then persevere and succeed. There's a movie by my favorite actor, Denzel Washington. And the movie is called The Hurricane. And The Hurricane, I'm going to look up the name right now. The Hurricane is a true story it is a biographical movie about a man by the name of Reuben Hurricane Carter. Reuben Hurricane Carter was an African-American male who was a middleweight boxer at the height of his career in I believe it was the 70s. Maybe 1966. In 1966, Reuben Hurricane Carter was the top-ranked middleweight boxer in the world, expected by fans to be the world's greatest boxing champion, when he was wrongly convicted of a triple murder in 1966 that basically ended this guy's life as he knew it. This guy was at the peak of his career, the peak of his life, and he was wrongly convicted of a triple murder. This guy spent 20 years in prison. 20 years in prison. Reuben Hurricane Carter was a black man in the 60s that had been convicted and jailed over a triple homicide and was sitting in prison. What do you think the odds are that a person like that would get out of prison? Can you imagine the unsurmountable weight that would be on a person knowing that every single person you ever knew thinks you're a triple murderer. You're in prison, caged like a dog. You didn't do it. And it was probably racially driven, whatever. And you sat there to rot for 20 years of your life. The reason that I tell the story of Reuben Hurricane Carter is because this dude didn't give up. And 20 years later, by chipping away at the problem and working towards a solution and keeping a positive mind where probably thousands of times he could have given up, he got out of jail. So it's like, if you believe, whether you believe or not, that you have one life, this guy was like peak life, peak career, peak everything to lose, wrongfully convicted, 20 years like a dog. And it's like, so we're going to sit out here and say, oh, this is an insurmountable challenge that we're not going to be able to figure out our way out of it. I think people need to recognize that there have been numerous occasions. And here's the other thing. This is the last thing I'll say about Reuben Hurricane Carter, which I think is absolutely amazing. Another man was with Reuben Hurricane Carter in the car with him. And his name was John Artis. I don't remember what his name. I don't know how you pronounce it. John Artis, or whatever his name is, was arrested with him. And had he said that Reuben Hurricane Carter committed this murder and ratted him out, made the story up and accused him of doing it, he would have served a less sentence and he would have been let out of prison. But this amazing human person didn't do that. Although you can guarantee that he was coerced under great pressure by the police to do so. And the probability of Reuben Hurricane Carter ever getting out of prison, considering that there was that admission or that accusation from his co-conspirator or whatever, he probably would have never gotten out of prison. Yet, this beautiful man didn't do that. So it's like, this is just one of thousands of stories of people overcoming great adversity. It's like, think about Nelson Mandela. It's like Nelson Mandela was in prison, I believe, for decades. And then he came out and ended up being the president. It's like, so we have to understand that the effort that we put in now is the same amount of effort that people put in when Martin Luther King Jr. was walking the planet, and when the people when our ancestors went to World War I. It's like they understood that the freedoms that they were fighting for would probably not be felt. Even all of the things that they set up was for future generations to thrive. All of the great things that make the world so beautiful today are here because somebody was so altruistic that they were willing to sacrifice their own time on earth for the future, for the benefit of future generations. So it's like they understood that if they put in this time and if they put in this work, that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years later, people would be free based on the effort that they put in. They were so altruistic, and that's the American spirit. So it's like, do we think that the world is trash? Yes. Do we think that absolute psychopaths are trying to run the world? Yes. Do we think that they're trying to create a single centralized world authoritarian government that essentially would make an inescapable, perpetual biomedical hellscape? Yeah. Do we think that they want to run all the money? Yes. Do we think that they want to control every aspect of your life and put every single person on the planet on a social credit score? Yes. Do they want to run every aspect of your life, track you from cradle to grave, make you reliant and dependent on the structure so that you need food, job, housing, shelter, freedom from them? Yes. Do they want to punish you for wrongthink? Yes. Do they want to punish do they want to punish you for crimes that you haven't even committed because it seems likely that you might commit them? Yes. Do they want to suppress your ability to speak? Yes. Do they want to suppress your ability to speak with one another? Yes. Do they want to confuse you about your gender, your identity? They want to confuse you about your country, about your history? Do they want to rewrite the past and eliminate all of the things that created the nuclear family? What is so amazing about the United States of America? Do they want to make it so that centralized control runs over every single country in the entire planet? Yes. Do they want to make a centralized group of all these people so that nobody could ever escape it? Absolutely. They want all these things. So it's like, that is an obvious truth. The reality is like, all right, what's the solution? People are always like, grab your musket. It's like, no, dude, this is a mental war. It is a mental war. And there's only one way out of it. Distribution of the truth at scale quickly. That's it. That's the only way. It's the only solution. The only solution is educate, inform, and lead people to recognizing the truth in real time. That's the solution. That solves the entire planet. So it's like, how do you become a hero? How could you, how could you be heroic? You could be heroic by being a distributor of the truth in real time, rapidly and consistently until you die. That is the game. It's the only game that's left. It's like, to be a hero 50 years ago, you had to strap on a weapon and go to a foreign land and fight for the freedoms that we enjoy today. That was how you became a hero 50 years ago, 80 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. You strapped up and you fought people in your own land, in your own backyard. You created a family. You created an ecosystem. You contributed to a community. You solved the problem for the people that were around you. You helped people stay healthy. You helped people have food. You helped people stay free. You protected people from danger, right? That's how you were a hero back then. Now it's like the most heroic thing that every single person not only should do, but needs to do in order to retain our freedom forever in perpetuity until the end of time. They have to be a distributor of the truth. That's it. That's the hero. That's the modern day hero. That's the statue. That's the you. That's the capacity that each of us have. But we all have this like belief that everything is hell. And it's like, yeah, it is. But you got to understand that when men go to war and women went to war, predominantly men 50 years ago, when a man 50 years ago went to war, the sheer existence of that person on the battlefield became a threat to the other people. It would help them retreat or not. Even if they never killed a single person, if they frightened another person or caused them to do some action, then it got some other person to get them or capture them or cause them to do whatever or get injured. It's like that's their contribution. The individual contribution of one guy could be one guy goes to war, he shoots one enemy, that enemy dies, and then he dies. Okay, that's one. Without that guy getting that one, it's like you could say, oh, that's worthless. It's like, is it worthless? What about standing guard? What about protecting all the other people? What about the guy that made the food? What about the person that made the food? Somebody made the food for the soldiers. They made food that tasted good, that was healthy and nutritious, that allowed them to stay awake longer, build more muscle mass, keep their energy going so that they could survive in battle, right? It's just like, everybody has to play their part. So it's like for us to think that because we can only do one thing or we're only maybe what we believe to be nothing, it's like everybody has to contribute. It's a large mass of people that all understand the significance of their piece in the entire equation that will save the world. Large distribution of the truth in real time to everyday people, including the people in your immediate social circle, your friends and your family, and your local community, will and can only save the world. That is the only solution. I see no solution. Grabbing a weapon and marching in the street, not a solution. Protesting in the street, as made evident by the tyrannical psychopath that's in control of Canada, that's not going to work anymore. Wrong think, not going to work. Funneling money to it, not going to work. None of these things are going to work because they understand that that's how that they can crush every objective, visible, traditional, tried and true method of getting people to change. They're destroying all that. You can't march in the street. You can't talk about it. You can't finance it. You can't do anything. The only thing that they can't control is what's in here. They can't control the collective mind. It's the last bastion of truth. It's the last source of freedom that will ever exist, would be people just being aware of what's going on so that they can identify problems in real time and address them and distribute them. It is the only remaining solution. Everybody asks me all the time. They're just like, what can I do? What can we do? The thing that you could do, the most altruistic thing that you could do, the most heroic thing that you could do is don't talk about it, be about it, and spread the truth and spread knowledge and help other people identify bullshit when it comes up to them in real time. Share the video, share the comment, share some text, say it on the radio, go to a school board meeting, vote in a local election, find a politician that agrees with your general thing, run for election, contribute to something, run a business that caters to a certain type of ideology or theory. Open your business when they tell you to close it. Don't force people to wear a diaper in the building. Don't fire people because they didn't get the juice. Be a person that is a purveyor of the truth, that teaches other people and leads other people to identify bad things while they're happening. Because rest assured, more bad stuff's going to happen. More evil is going to happen. They're going to keep coming for you relentlessly until you die. That's what they're going to do. They're going to do it forever because it's multi-generational. It will never end. It's kind of like being out in the wild. If you're an animal out in the wild, if you're a deer or whatever, you're a juicy little animal out in the wild, you're never not at threat. The only time that you're not at threat is when there's a big group of you. When there's a big group of you that moves intelligently. So it's like, we have to understand that the only way that we beat what we can only presume to be an indestructible force, which is what they like to think, the only way to do it is large scale, expeditious distribution of the truth. That's it. That is the solution to all the world's problems. And it's like, how does somebody go about doing that? Well, first, They manage their own operation. They make sure that they got enough money, that they got enough protection, that they got their head on straight, that they're positive, that they have a good family and friend group around them. They make sure that they're not only economically protected, but physically protected. They make sure that they're mentally healthy and physically healthy. That's number one. It's like, take care of yourself, right? Advance to the highest and best version of yourself all the time. Objective number one. Objective number two, consume as much information as possible. Consume information, sift through information, analyze information. Know your shit inside and out. Know it. That's it. Watch the news, consume the news, listen to podcasts, advance yourself. Make sure that at the end of the day, you're higher than you were yesterday. You're advancing 1% a day all the time. The third thing is be a distributor. Be a creator and distributor of the truth. Share the post, share the text, share the information, share the podcast, share the book. Elevate the people around you that are distributing those truths, and contribute back to the center and move in packs. Find the people that care about what's going on to the degree that you have and invest in it. Invest your time, invest your attention, and invest your money. If there's a political organization around you, go to it. If there's a political meeting around you, go to it. If there's a school board meeting or a rally or a meetup or whatever, go to it. Find like-minded people and engage. If you really care about it, if you really want to contribute to it, be about it. Be a part of it. There's a huge event in Orlando this weekend called CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference. You don't even have to be conservative. You could just be a person that loves America. You could be a person that just wants to be around other people that might look at the world the same way as you. Spend the money, buy the ticket, go to it. It's $300. Go to it. Be about it. You'll meet a person there. You'll meet 5 people there. You'll meet me there. You'll meet someone there that'll help change your mind, help invigorate you, and help you contribute back to the game. That's kind of my message, is like, there have been countless times in history where people have had their back against the wall and it's looked very grim. Yet we've always managed to make it out. So if you believe it's over, if you believe it's tapped, if you believe you can do nothing, then you can't. Anyhow, I want to take a couple questions and look at the chat here. Thanks everybody that's here right now. I really appreciate it. Got 150 people watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Another 165 or so here on Instagram. There's been about 350 to 400 people here the entire time, which has been awesome. So thank you guys so much for being here. A big thank you to Aaron. I saw a Venmo coming from Aaron. I want to thank everybody that's been buying the badges before I answer some questions. Thank you to Megan Hayward for the badges. Thank you so much. Keto Vampire, AZ, Jamie Lynn, Sean 87 Callahan, Mayday 1111, Dawn Maureen, Light Shiner 69, Patriotic Kukla 5, Danny Marion, Mamistas, Megan Nicole 25, Lana Liberty, The Fit Bald Man, Jesse CT6, Chooks Official, Megan Nicole 25. Thank you guys so much for the badges on Instagram. Thank you, Genesis Alfonso. Appreciate you so much. Thank you guys for the donations, and thank you for the Venmos. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that's bought merch on bobbysauce.com. This is a new shirt from there. I appreciate it. Thank you, Noah and Bun. Appreciate that. Thank you guys for the support. It is much appreciated. And also a big thanks to all the people that are in the Patreon. I really appreciate you guys. This is a Bobby Sauce mug. Joe on Facebook says, I'm so happy to catch the live jam tonight. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you. Thank you, Carly. Kick out. I see people keep talking about Carol. Apparently Carol is causing a problem. I haven't been paying attention. There are a few weirdos in here. I just wish more people realize their power. I just wish people more realize their significance. It's like, bro, thank you, Gigi Governor's Island. Appreciate you. If more people understood how powerful we are and how long and far your voice can go, the world would be a better place. But everybody just like under indexes to their capacity. Everybody just forgets how powerful they actually are. People don't even understand how powerful their own influence is over their immediate social circle. All right, Carol. I see a lot of people telling Carol to leave. So, all right. Peace, Carol. Carol's gone. Goodbye. I don't even know. Yeah. All right. Carol's gone. It's just, I just wish that more people, like I said, I wish more people understood the power that they have even in their social circle. It's like, if people forget, it's like, I wish more people understood this. You could say one thing to one person one time, and 30 years later, it could make a difference in their life. It's like, do we understand how powerful that is? And I've said this so many times, and I think that it's part of my primary core message, which is, if we understood that all things come from our thoughts first, if we understood that the origin of all great things was your thought, what you think about in the shower, what you think about when you take a walk, what you think about when you sit in silence, what you think about when you process the basic fundamentals of life as you're just staring at the trees or walking your dog or whatever, or exercising. That is like when the most rich things can come out of your mind. And it's like, if we understood how important our thoughts were, because it changes the way that we behave. If we could understand how important our thoughts were, we would change the way we think. We would change what we say. We would audit what we think about, because we would understand how important it is. You can think your way out of every bad situation that ever happens in your life. And interestingly enough, you can think yourself out of or into every situation that happens in your life. It's like, if you think it's bad, you can think your way out of it. You think your way into and out of all good and all bad things that ever happen in your life. Now, I'm not saying that you don't get, I'm not saying if you get struck by lightning, there's things that are left to chance. There's things that you have to leave up to the universe. And there certainly are things that are outside of your control. But your thought process and your mindset and the decisions you make minute to minute, day to day, thought to thought, word to word, have more of an influence over your life than any other thing. And if you could understand that just purely and simply your thoughts dictate how your life goes, people would really get opened up to a whole new level of understanding of what the world is. Some people say it's yeah, I see people in the chat, they're like, it's Jesus, it's God. Yeah, whatever you want, however you want to frame it, whatever you think it is, that's fine. That's probably what it is. It has been scientifically proven that different parts of your brain are activated when you pray. Now, in theory, they're not tracking whom you pray to or what religion you may have. But when a person prays, and this has been studied, you can look it up, it activates a different part of your brain. How do you explain that? So it's like, it's operating in here. And the other thing that's crazy, which I just heard a couple of days ago someone talking about, your heart starts beating before your brain is fully formed. Your heart is the first thing. Your heart is a brain and an ecosystem all its own. So it's like, can we understand we have two sources here, untapped sources? If you can unite these two things, your heart, your body, your bloodstream, the way that you treat your physical health, and then your mind, what you control of that comes out of here, and what you what occurs when things go in here. It's like, is there any other solution better than that? That's the solution. So then when you go back to the original point from before, which is like, hey, how do you change the world? How do you become a hero? It's like, there's these other things. I see somebody says, don't forget about the gut. Yeah. There's this other thing called intuition. I think that one of the things that people also don't understand is like, there's a certain amount of proteins in your body that we don't even use. It's like we only use like 20% or 30% of all the proteins or whatever in our body. I'm sure I'm butchering it, but the idea is like there's different parts of our body that we don't even activate, that we don't even know what they're even for, even with today's technology. So it's like we don't even know what capacity we even have. We can only see light to a certain degree. There could be a blob of energy right behind me right now, and nobody would even, I wouldn't even know it. It could be right in front of me. So it's like we don't know what this is, but we have to understand that things like intuition, like when you can sense a bad thing about to happen, or you can sense the goodness in another person, or you start to find trust or whatever, you have this innate understanding of your surroundings. That is the universe, the energy of the planet, whatever, teaching you and educating you on where to go. You could call it a spirit guide. You could call it whatever you want. But the reality of it is like there's a more divine control occurring in this operation. I don't care what you call it or how you frame it, but something very divine is happening in this environment. And the reason that you know that exists is because of life is as good as it is. Jackpot number one, you woke up today. It's like, this is a magical time. So we're just going to think like, oh, it's over because Justin True Dumpster Fire says this. No, we just got to figure out a solution. Maybe not a long-term solution, but a short-term solution. And or maybe not a short-term solution, but a long-term solution. And we got to do the best that we can to contribute back to the cause. So it's like, and the other thing too is people will say to me sometimes, they're like, hey, that's easy for you to say. You have however many followers or whatever. Like, first of all, who cares about followers? I had nobody following me, and I just made a few videos. I yelled in my phone. Thank you for being here. You made me feel so much better. I forgot about the ego thing. I got caught up in fear. That's not good. Yeah, don't get caught up in fear. Comment on Instagram. It's like I was sitting in this chair building a website August 20th of 2020, and I yelled into my phone. It was the 200th time I yelled for a video in my phone. And that video got 60,000 views, and now a year and a half later, there's 350 people, 400 people watching on a random day with no announcement. There's 160,000 people that are following along. There's people all over the world that have bought merch, contributed, viewed, shared, followed along. All I did was made a video of me yelling in the phone. So it's like if you have one follower and you're not making videos of you saying what's on your mind, I don't know what you're doing. And people are like, I'm not comfortable on camera. You know how you get comfortable on camera? You just make more of them. The first 100 videos that I shot, I was not comfortable on camera, but I just kept making them. Consistency is the key. It's like you want to find a way to contribute. You want to find a way to be heroic. That's it. I didn't want to do this. It's like I wasn't like I'm gonna fight for freedom. It's like I was like, oh, could I make some funny videos? Thank you, Meg, for the Venmo. I appreciate you. It's like I found the duty aspect of it when the marketplace rose me up and said, all right, here's a shot. And I was like, all right. So it's like how quick we are to just dismiss what's really there. I remember I read a book by Gary Vee. I was speaking at a conference in Dubai, and I was in the gym on the elliptical in Dubai listening to a Gary Vee audiobook or a video on YouTube or something. And he said something along the lines of like, you're one piece of content away from your big break. And I was like, that's crazy. And he's right. You're going to make 200 or 300 or 500 or 800 or 100 or 20 pieces of content that nobody's going to care about. And then you're going to make one that somebody cares about. And sooner or later, you'll make some that lots of people care about. So maybe it's a video, maybe it's audio, maybe it's a photo, maybe it's a meme, maybe it's text, maybe it's a book, maybe it's an ebook, maybe it's an in-person meeting, maybe it's a gathering, maybe you're a connector, maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but you got to figure that out. And the worst thing that anybody could do is be aware of all this stuff, pay attention to it, know it, know it's bad, know that they could contribute, and do nothing. It's like we need everybody to do something. So that's all. That's what I'm trying to share. Jessica on Facebook says, I love watching your videos. Thank you for making them from Canada. You're very welcome, Jessica. Thank you. The dentist I worked for said only floss the teeth you want to keep. That's pretty good. Thank you, Veronica on Facebook. See, the other thing too, it's like, all right, there's people like trolling in the comments. Yeah, troll along. It's like, I could care less if people troll in the comments. That's how you know. That's how you know you're onto something, you know? Thank you, Sharon. Because this is the thing is like, when I go on to live streams of people that I disagree with, I'm listening for them to convince me to think otherwise. And like sometimes you lash out because you feel like that's the only way that you can contribute because you're desperate for attention, and that's fine if that's what they want to do. Yeah, fine. How can so many people hate living in America when all I would want to do is live there? What? Trolls get you more traffic? Yeah. Of course, right as I start paying attention to the comments, they get clapped. So I got to pull up my Instagram on my browser here so I can yeah, I'm not worried about people trolling. I think that that's a good thing. Thank you for covering the stuff happening in Canada. Yeah, you're welcome. So he said, my whole family's got their head stuck in the sand. Yep, that's an extremely common reality of most people. But it's like if you can't reach them, just try to reach someone. All right, I finally got the comments back up again. Somebody said, what is this live about? How to save the world, basically. I started with a lot of jokes. Somebody said, I'm in Australia. Too quiet here for my liking. Yeah, Australia is crazy. Somebody said on YouTube, I've been watching you for a while. We've chatted on Instagram a few times. I will always support what you are doing, even though I don't always agree. That's what's up. That's the type of stuff I like to hear. Somebody said, no one's ever cared about Canadian politics till now because it's never been interesting here. Now the world is watching, helps us not feel like Mugatu. All right. I'll tell you this much. I never cared about Canadian politics, but evil is evil is evil. And Canada did a great job of leading the world and showing us what's happening. So I give them so much kudos and respect. I appreciate what they did up there. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Dave said, too many people are fed on legacy media. No one wants to get into the thick of things anymore. I've lost friends and family. Everything is so divided. Look, everything is so divided by perception based. If you actually talk to people, people are not as divided as it seems. And if you go out into the real world, people are really not as divided as they make it seem too. It's like we have more in common than we realize, and people need to understand that it's us versus them. It's not us versus each other. It's us versus them. And when I say them, I mean the elites that are running the world. All of us fighting with each other is clown shoes. Somebody said U.S. trucker convoy. How do I see it playing out? I have no idea. I certainly hope that it's effective and that it works, but I have no clue. I really don't know. I'm afraid that there's not enough psychotic things happening in the U.S. right now for it to change anything, because things are kind of already changing. So we'll see. I mean, I'm for it. I think people peacefully protesting is a good thing. Mike said, saw your chat with the Australian lady a while back and loved your patience, how painful the conversation was with her. Yeah, she was lost in the actual sauce. That poor gal. She was a shoe of a literal clown, total victim mentality, totally being spoon-fed straight into her balloon knot, the lies, and loves it. Ponzilla said it might be a trap. Yeah, it probably is a trap. Oh. Live just got paused by a blue alert or something. Somebody said in Canada, there's lots of division, hard seeing people walk around not seeing what's going on. Yep, I agree. And that's why it's our responsibility to try to contribute back to fixing it. That's the whole point. It's like, yeah, it sucks. I'll be the first person to first person to acknowledge that. All right, thanks, Rob. Rob on YouTube is watching from Ottawa. That's what's up. Somebody said Ottawa was amazing. Saw the Canada I was proud of. That's awesome. See, it just goes to show, like, there are great people out there. We got to understand that there's more people that see this than we think. RV Benny said, nice watch. Cool. Thanks. New Mexico governor lifted the diaper mandate, but most companies are still enforcing them. You know how you get those companies to stop enforcing them? People that work for them work somewhere else. People that patronize those businesses, don't do it. Don't give them any money, and they'll change it quick. That's the thing, is like, people got to understand that your money is powerful. I went to go buy some shoes yesterday online, and I was like, I saw these Nikes that this guy had, and I was like, oh, I really want those. And I'm like, God, Nike is woke. Like, I shouldn't buy these shoes. Yeah, it's a pair of shoes. The shoes are already made. Nike's not going to care one way or the other. But I'm like, I got to try to not buy these shoes from Nike. Like, let me find another business that's not doing that and not buy these shoes from Nike. And I hesitated right there. And I'm like, I want those, but I don't want to support that. So it's like, nope. So it's like, if we could all just realize that that's the thing. Now it's hard to unwind from certain things. There's certain businesses that you don't have to agree with everything that a business does all the way, but it's like, I had a bunch of money invested into Alibaba. Alibaba is a Canadian technology company, basically the Amazon of China, or as a Chinese technology company, basically the Amazon of China. And I was like, this company is going to be worth more money for sure. So I had all this Alibaba stock. And once I started seeing that this is a geopolitical adversary and like that these people don't want us, I'm like, I took my money out. I didn't have that much money in there. I had like, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000, but I sold my Alibaba stock and bought an American stock. It's nothing, but if everybody thinks it's nothing, then we're screwed. It's kind of like recycling a bottle. When you're drinking a plastic bottle and you see there's two cans right there, maybe the recycling is 10 feet away and the garbage is right there. If you're just like, oh, what does it matter? And you just throw out every bottle. If everybody thought that way, we'd be in trouble. So it's like, yeah, I just took my money out of Alibaba. I don't know. Megan, my general clothing choices are your stuff and Ian's. Nice. Somebody said the thing that shocks me is the police. How could they go against the truckers and freedom? You know how? Money. And a lot of people don't pay attention. That's what I'm saying. It's like these cops, they're not even paying attention. They're getting their orders. They're NPCs. So many people are NPCs. They're not even paying attention. They don't even understand the significance. They're just falling in line. So many people are completely brain dead. Somebody said if Panera doesn't start making their people wear masks, I'm going to stop going there too. You want them to wear masks? What? Why? I don't get it. Maybe that was a typo. They fired all the police who wouldn't comply with the diaper rules. Yeah, exactly. That's what they want. It's like, what blows my mind is that people are like, I hear this rebuttal all the time. They're like, why would they want to do that? Or like, who's they? And it's like, let me make it very clear. They are international banking cartels, money movers, and rich, powerful elites that hold control over the major governments of the world. They are the people that are intertwined into their grouping of people that control how the world moves. They control commerce, they control finance, and they have no allegiance to any country. They are invisible, amorphous blobs that can dictate how the world moves. If you don't think that these people exist, you're out of your mind. So it's like them. That's the they. Rich and powerful global elites that have had a stranglehold over the operations of human society for hundreds and thousands of years. That's the they. Why would they want to do it? Money and power. Why would they want to do it? Power and money. Power and money, money and power. What's something that you can't get with money? Well, you could probably get it with power. There's not many other things that you can get. Power and money. Money and power. Power and money. That's why. It's that simple. Sometimes the most complicated problems have the simplest answers. The reason that they want to do it is for power and money. Who is they? The people that run the world. Who runs the world? The people with the most power, the people with the most connections, the people with the most money, the people that own international conglomerates that dominate over certain industries, the people that control and are in the pocket of and have the lawmakers in their pocket, the people that move all the money and hold all the money and loan all the money to the federal government and the federal governments of the world. The UN, NATO, the World Economic Forum, all of them. All of them, the conglomerate, the aggregate conglomerate of all of the people that financially run the world. That's who. That's they. That's the they. How much clearer does it have to be? People think that the people on the Forbes list are the richest people in the world. You're out of your mind. There are people that are so rich that they could buy Forbes and take themselves off the list. There's no, like, what do you... It's like the richest people in the world that are on the Forbes list are not the richest people in the world. There are probably hundreds, if not thousands of people that are more rich than them. Thousands of people that are richer than them. It's like is the guy that's one of the primary holders of Aramco on there? You know, it's like, What about the countries that produce tens of millions of gallons of oil a day? It's like, you think Dollar Bill and Bezos are richer than them? I don't think so, Jerry. Somebody said, I work in film in Canada and nearly all the streaming platforms are mandating the jib jabs. Yeah. So there's a show on Showtime. called something about being white. It's called something about white. It's like some show that just basically like says you're a piece of garbage. Basically, if you're white, I forget what it's called. Everything's gonna be all white. So I would encourage everybody to go give this a gagal, give it a duck. It's a new show. It's on Showtime. It's called Everything's Gonna Be All White. And it's a bunch of people. Talking about how basically white people are evil and white people are bad and white this, white that. It's a history of race. Sure. Yeah. I'm sure there's no bias there, but it's on Showtime. I really love the show Billions, right? I loved Billions. I really enjoyed it, but you need a subscription to Showtime to watch Billions. It's $17 a month or $15 a month or whatever. And I was about to buy my Showtime subscription so that I could watch Billions. And I'm like, no, fuck you. It's $17, but I'm just like, all right, I guess I don't need Billions, you know? That's what I'm saying. It's like, if we were all just slightly more cognizant about that type of thing, you know, it would change the way the world works. But no, there's a show called Everything's Gonna Be All White. All right, peace, bro. Thanks, Showtime. Pound sand, jabroni. You know what's funny though about all these fake woke companies and stuff? It's like, you know who's making the most money off of all this? Take a guess, you know? So Showtime Networks is owned by who? Let's take a guess. Showtime is owned by Paramount Domestic Media Networks. Paramount Domestic Media Networks is basically formerly known as a division of Paramount Global, a multinational mass media company. It's the merger of Viacom CBS, owned by Viacom CBS. So it's like the largest media distribution powerhouse that owns all of the demons owns Showtime. The one that lies to you about everything. The one that completely makes the world a worse place and sows all this divide. They're the ones that are monetizing Everything's going to be all white. You know, it's like they're making money off of your fake division. They're like faking being woke. Meanwhile, they make $25 billion of revenue a year. That's 22,000 employees. They own all of the networks, BET, CBS, leadership. It seems like a pretty diverse leadership. So it's like, who's making the real money? They're making money off you thinking you're being woke. It's like, all right. Sounds like a crooked monopoly. I mean, it's not a monopoly. It's the way that the way that multinational conglomerates work. They buy up assets, they consolidate, they eliminate, needless overhead, and they create ginormous mega corporations. It's this tale as old as time. It's the free market. But the problem is that people are letting them dictate the way that they think. It's not illegal what they're doing. It's dog shit, but people are watching it. People are consuming it. It's our fault at the end of the day. It's less their fault and more our fault, because if we didn't consume it, if nobody watched Everything's Gonna Be All White, if people canceled Showtime because of it, they'd drop the show and they would cancel and they'd go out of business. But people just don't understand that. Someone in Canada says they're afraid to speak here. Yeah, I get it. It's sad. Somebody said the free market is still not bad. Yeah, the free market is not bad. The free market is good. The reason that what we are blaming the free market on, that's what I'm trying to say, is like, we're blaming all of our problems on all these people that are perpetrating evil, when the reality is that it's our responsibility because we choose to consume it. It's like, for example, alcohol. It's like we buy alcohol. The fact that culture suggests to you that you need to drink alcohol doesn't mean that you need to. Just because social pressure dictates to you that it's right to drink alcohol in X, Y, or Z situation doesn't mean that you should, doesn't mean that you need to. No one made you go to the bar. No one made you go to the bar and not drink a club soda. Yet we choose because we don't have the mental fortitude to stop. And I'll admit that happens to me too. But it's like we are responsible for the reason that it's like that because we choose to consume it. If you don't go to the bar anymore, and every time you go out with your friends, you go to a farmer's market or you go to the beach or you go exercise or whatever, you'll be friends with people that do that. You'll do more of that. You'll support businesses that do more of that, that'll choose to try to monetize whatever it is that you're trying to do, as opposed to people that go to the bar. Right now, everywhere that somebody goes between the ages of 21 and 29 is they go to the bar for the most part. It's like, if you don't go to as many bars and instead you go to comedy shows, you go to concerts, you go to, go to the gym, those types of things will become more affordable, more accessible, more universally. Well, what I think is going to happen, I think that people of the future are going to realize the same things that we are realizing about food, for example, food and air. I think that people are going to realize that about social activity in the future. So it's like, how right now we're just like, how could they smoke cigarettes? It's like cigarettes are going out of style because people realize how bad they are, right? So it's like cigarettes are losing favor. I think that in the future, they're going to look at all this alcohol that everybody drank. They're going to be like, I can't believe everybody drank so much alcohol. That's insane. And I think that people of the future are going to do a whole lot more yoga, and they're going to eat better food, and they're going to do more. Hopefully, maybe not. I don't know. But I just think that they're going to look at us and be like, what a bunch of idiots. So it's like, do you want to lead that direction in your own life, or do you want to just be like, because people were doing yoga in the 70s, I think like people like, so I went to CVS. No, I went to Walmart the other night. I go to Walmart and we wanted to get a pizza. You look at the pizza, there's all these pizzas. Grabbed a pizza that's a cauliflower crust, whatever, healthy pizza. It tastes just the same. And I'm like, if everybody bought cauliflower pizza, they wouldn't sell garbage pizza. If everybody bought these, there'd be more of them. If you go to places like CVS, they have cauliflower rice, microwavable meals and stuff. It's like, if I go to CVS every week and I buy a microwavable meal that has cauliflower rice, they're going to start stocking more cauliflower rice. It's like, people don't even understand that like these stores are reacting to our behavior. If they stock cauliflower pizzas and they sell out, they're going to stock more cauliflower pizzas. It's like if everybody just was that cognizant, if everybody realized that like it's worth a little extra money to buy better food or have a better experience or buy nicer whatever, instead of spending extra money on a watch, clean the AC ducts in your house, pay for a maid to clean your house more often. I mean, there's so many things. Buy better soap, buy better skincare, better, go to the dentist more often. I mean, there's so many other things. Don't use a microwave. Why? Please stop shopping at Walton's. Yeah, it was 11 o'clock at night. Look, you got to pick and choose your battle. Unfortunately, there were no small business grocery stores open at 11 o'clock at night. So I went and got a microwaves deplete nutrients in food. Okay. It kills any goodness in food. Okay. Yeah. Maybe it does. I don't know. So we said grow my own. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm going to just do the best I can with that. Use the oven. Yeah, I mean, we gotta do the best we can. But hey, you gotta focus on trying to do better things as time progresses. Yes, I agree. Amazon is killing brick and mortar stores. Yeah. However, I do believe that there's a lot of things that what I've been realizing lately about Walmart or Amazon. I used to buy all these things out of convenience from Amazon. Like I would buy soap and like shampoo, and I would never go to the store to buy anything. You know what I started realizing is like the deals at your local grocery store or at your local, even like Walgreens, it's like the retail prices of basic things like soap are actually considerably better. Like paper towels and stuff, they're actually way better than they are on Amazon. So it's like the store is right around the corner. It's like I buy a bunch of bottles of shampoo and other things, and like I save so much money on them. And I was like, that was kind of eye-opening to me. So it's like you just gotta pick your battles. Somebody said, when will Truth Social get rolling so we can say all the words we want? I don't know. I mean, you can kind of say all the words you want already on Telegram, Getter, and Gab. I don't have an iPhone, so I can't get on Truth Social yet. To me, it's like whatever distributes the message. If that works, maybe it will, maybe it won't. You never know. People underestimate how difficult it is to run a social media platform and how much time and expertise and money it takes. It's not something that you could just start up. These companies didn't become wealthy and rich overnight because they were just like, yeah. So use Monet shampoo and their skin products. They make everything in Miami. Okay. Ashley says, I appreciate everything coming across your profile. Thank you, Ashley. Somebody said, I love Devin Nunez for pushing it. Yeah. Why aren't you writing our suggestions? Yo, I'm about to head out. I'll answer if anyone has any other questions or whatever. I'll answer maybe a question or two more before I go. Somebody says, what is one thing you hope to accomplish this year? One thing I hope to accomplish this year. One thing I hope to accomplish this year is to level up my visibility to double what it is right now. That's one thing that I'm shooting for this year. Is like it took me 14, August to September, October, November, December, 4 months plus 2. So it took me 1 year, 4 months plus 2. So it took me a year and a half to get 100,000 followers. I want 200,000 on Instagram by the end of the year. That's the goal. So it's like if I'm at 105 right now, that means 95,000 followers divided by, let's just use March. March through December is 10 months. So divided by 10, that's 9,500. Divided by 30 days, that's 316 followers a day on Instagram. I think that I'm averaging right now between 250 and 300 a day about average. So if I can ramp that average up, I'll hit 200,000 by the end of the year. It's not about the 200. It's just a specific milestone. I would like to continue to grow the exposure and just reach more people than ever. That's the objective. That's what I would like to accomplish for the year, among other things personally. But that's the one thing that kind of comes to mind is like continue to grow the exposure as much as possible. And I think that I could hit 200,000 by the end of the year. So we'll see. Somebody said, how's Biggie? Biggie's doing good. When are you going to replace Kimmel? Lots of laughs. Kimmel sucks. He's a total clown. So someone said Crossed next weekend you coming. I love Crossed. San Diego's fun. I will say this about Crossed in San Diego. I did not find the sound to be particularly loud enough at Crossed when you are not close enough to the stages. And because I think that it's kind of like, it's almost like oversold a little bit. There's so many people there that later in the night, like the last 4 sets of the night, got really crowded, and it was like really hard to get close enough to the speakers. So, I mean, I haven't been there in a couple of years, but I love the artists that they get. I think Crossed is an awesome festival. I think the location is amazing. However, I think that they don't use enough power for the sound. And I think that creates a bottleneck for the audience that causes them to have to get closer and closer to the stage. I think a lot of people that are there kind of like a fashion show, and there's not as many people that are there purely and simply for the music. I also don't like how it ends fairly early. It ends at like 11 o'clock at night or 12 or something like that because it's in that downtown core. I like festivals that go a little bit later, like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So although I do like Crossed and the artists, the sound was an issue for me. And the fact that it's in California is troubling because I'm in Florida, so it's expensive. But Crossed is fun. So no, I'm not going. One thing that I've been doing this year is investing my money into this account and growing exposure. Where I would go to a festival, now I'm using that money to go to events. I was just at an event in Salt Lake City a couple of days ago, networking and growing the brand, etc. I'm going to Orlando this weekend instead of going to, a music festival. So I'm just really focused on that. Born to Travel. Are you going to CPAC? Yes, I will be at CPAC. And if anybody is at CPAC and you see me, please feel free to come say what up. Take a picture if you want. Come say hello. Wear a Bobby Sauce shirt. I would love to see that. So yes, I will be at CPAC. Somebody said, what do I get paid for all the followers? Not that much. CPAC, yeah, I will be at CPAC. If you see me at CPAC, feel free to say what up. Don't be weird. Feel free to come say hello. Party time with Jordan. We want fun videos and pics. Yeah. Somebody said all 4 days. Yeah, I'll be there all 4 days. By doing what you're doing, you're waking people up, fulfilling a huge purpose. Thank you. Believe you're part of saving the country. And other countries don't give up. You speak for so many. Yeah, that's the thing is like, I feel the duty to it. That's the thing is like, it's beyond comedy. I think it's just feeling like the duty to it. And that's what really like lights me up is I'm like, this is actually making an impact. So thanks, Mike Mark. SVW says, would you vote for Donnie in 2024? I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say no, but I would rather vote for Santa Claus. But if Donnie is what it is, which is probably what's going to be the case, I would vote for him because the alternative is going to be garbage. But we'll see. I mean, there's still a long time, so I don't know. Somebody said, "Am I coming to New Mexico?" Not that I know of. Happy birthday, Laura, on Facebook. Yo, just a reminder, if anybody that's in here doesn't already follow me on Instagram, hit that arrow right there and follow me. If you don't follow me on Instagram, but you're joining the chat, make sure you follow me there. I see people joining, but some people follow, some don't. I didn't even know that that was a thing. Keep on speaking the truth. We love you. See you at CPAC. Awesome. I will see you at CPAC. Do you think Donnie would have put an end to the Russian thing? Yeah, probably not. I mean, he probably would have, but who knows? Truth through comedy is definitely helpful. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Timothy. All right, y'all. I'm about to come up on 2 hours here. This has been a good time. I'm getting tired myself. I got to go out and take a walk with my vest. So I'm gonna take off. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for the Venmos and the donations. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Nicole, for the order on bobbysauce.com. I see that just came in, another Florida person. Thank you to the people that have donated. I really appreciate that so much. Thanks to everybody that bought the badges. 19 people bought badges here on the chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for doing that. I really do appreciate it. And thank you guys for the support. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already watched the video that I put out yesterday about dollar bill, please go and watch it, share it if you'd like it. And what's up, Sean? And yeah, thank you guys for the love. I will see you at CPAC, and keep fighting the good fight. We got this, dog. The world is trash, but like it's still pretty good. We're awake, we're alive, we're living. And they can't get in here. They can't get in here. So I think that, we're going to be all right. So I got faith. Much love, guys. I really appreciate it. Facebook, YouTube, thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Instagram. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I had a good time.